Hello everyone and welcome to the British Esports podcast here at Insomnia 70. This time we are joined by James. James, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit hungover from last night, but it's all good.
It seems to be a common occurrence. It seems to everyone we've talked to today, yeah. So, James, for those who don't know who you are, do you mind just introducing yourself and telling us a bit about what it is that you do?
Hi everybody, I'm HelpingHans. I've been a content creator for God knows how many years now, and full-time since 2016. I've been creating content specifically for strategy games, and the company Heroes franchise, as well as other games like Foxhole, are known for just mainly just playing strategy games. But I do a bit of everything, and yeah, I've been fortunately I've been able to dominate my scene. It is rather niche to be fair, but I dominate the niche that I play in, and yeah, I've always enjoyed it.
So how did esports start for you then? Where did you first discover esports?
Well, I've always been interested in like StarCraft 2 competitive scene and things like that, watching those guys and the commentators cast over that, and just been really hyped up over everything. It's really impressive, and and I started getting good at my game, the Company Heroes franchise, and I was beating my friends. And then I decided, maybe I'm actually pretty decent at this game. I'll try, the ladder. Did really well on ladder as well. So then eventually, I guess it all culminated in tournament victories and stuff later on down the line for in the esports scene for that game. But mainly the scene for because again it's quite niche. Like it was all really community driven and community run a lot of the events rather than like big organizers like ESL. There was like one instance where they did support it. But for the rest of it, it was all mostly community-driven, community-funded and community-ran.
So what is it about RTS games that really drew you towards them?
RTS game, I just love the strategy aspect of it. I think, when it comes to a first-person shooter, they're all very similar. You've got a gun, you shoot somebody, basically, right? You might have some abilities and stuff, or wall running, all that. But I just got, it doesn't have too much tactical depth for me personally. And the strategy game, I used to play chess when I was younger. I used to really enjoy chess when I was at school, and but chess is chess, and you get a bit bored of that. And that's when I started going on to strategy games and like to control huge armies and fighting each other. And games like the Total War franchise or Company Heroes or Command and Conquer. I just love building a really cool base and then going attacking my opponent and thinking about like all other aspects of strategy games as well, like resource management and stuff as well, which is good fun.
So over the course of you from playing games and then starting to do it a bit more competitively, do you have a particular highlight or like an achievement that stands out?
Oh, definitely. 2016 March monthly ESL finals for me. That was when I won every single match in the tournament, and didn't. It's just because I felt like it was like perfect performance for me, which I'm really proud of because I didn't lose a single game and dominated everybody. Even when in a match I was going a bit behind, I was able to come back and win, and won the whole thing without taking just a game down. So I was really proud about that, and it was the biggest tournament in the games scene at the time. That was definitely a highlight.
Yeah, fantastic. Well,
so I mean that's just an amazing answer anyway, and it links very well to the next question. Like, how did you prepare to go into that tournament and then have that perfect run?
That's a good question. Yes, yeah. Well, the thing is, it was weird because like the tournaments, because it was ESL January, February, and March or whatever, and all of those. I won the introduction tournament and then the end one, and I didn't win the middle ones, the ones in the early months. I actually struggled, and I guess it was just constant training, and it just happens to click on the day. I think it's just sometimes you need to have good luck, a bit of luck roll your way. You just also needed the right mindset, just be calm, collected. A lot of the times, I imagine you're probably familiar with ladder fear. Mm-hmm. When you get on ladder, you're like, I'm going to play against a person. You start you start doing a little bit of shaking with your hands and stuff, and that really puts off your main game. But that day I didn't have it. I just went into it just thinking, I just want to have some fun. I just want to play my game. I know I can play well. And when I put those other things at the back of my mind, I could focus down and do really well. And that's what happened on the day.
Nice. So you've been obviously currently working with Team Endpoint.
Yep.
How have you found that? How has it been working with Team Endpoint?
Yeah, Team Endpoint's been an awesome organisation to work with. I'm not part of like an esport team per se with them, like running like they have their CS:GO teams and Rocket League teams. I'm part of their stream team, but they've been really helpful in getting things together for me. Help open the doors in certain directions with other companies, which has been awesome. Their affiliate sponsors are my sponsors as well now, which is really cool. And like for instance, Team Endpoint are having their HQ opening in Sheffield in a month's time.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be cool. A launch party. We're all going to go down there and celebrate that. And also the day before, they've got the whole green screen room set up, which is I'm really excited to get involved in because I like doing like these funny comedy sketches. Where I superimpose myself in funny scenes and stuff like that. So I'll be able to go down and take all these costumes that I've got and finally like, you know, have a really good editing because they said I like edit it and do things like that as well. So that's really looking forward to because I can't really do that at home because I haven't got the space or you know, cause the floor. It's the tricky part is getting the floor green, and they've got the whole kind of like floor and the ceiling,
of course,
the whole thing sorted. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Yeah,
oh, fantastic. I love stuff like that. That's like what I enjoy. I think the most is like the comedy skits that people do for like esports stuff or like gaming stuff in general. I love it. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, definitely. So thinking about your sort of journey as a whole, and we've spoken to a lot of people, and we spoke to Maggie Robertson yesterday, and she said this really powerful thing about like once you go down a path in your career, the door's closed for someone else. So what advice, with that in mind, would you give to someone who potentially was trying to get into esports and gaming, who wants to go down a similar path to you? What advice would you give them in sort of getting started on that journey?
Into esports specifically, I think it's you know, honing your craft and getting good at the game and like I said, do the ladder first. I mean, if you're good on the ladder and you're getting the top ranks and the best seeds and stuff like that, I think that's a good starting point. But if you like to get known, I guess, in the esports and to get those industry connections, I think it's important to go to lots of gaming events, talk to people. I think a lot of the time it's not what you do, it's who you know. So that helps a massive way to going, you know, to like signing up with an organization, for instance. You know, it's always good to be punctual, you know, and helpful with, you know, make sure to be on time with if someone gives you a sponsorship campaign, you do it in time, you know, and you do it well, and then that you know, just helps you trickle down with other campaigns and things like that if you're interested in that type of thing. But yeah, again, I guess in esports, yeah, it's a difficult one. I think it's just like, so you're saying Maggie said that thing to you where the door closes.
So no one can really have the same
experiences
and path to get in.
Yeah, it's just about being unique. I guess I'm just more talking about just being a content creator here rather than specifically esports. But it does kind of go hand in hand a bit because, like, if you do the content creator side of things correctly, then it also helps you with your esports side of things with getting into big events. But yeah, just like I say, go to events, talk to people, especially like organization owners, and obviously look. You know, don't look dishevelled. You know, look kind of well dressed. Yeah, make sure maybe you've got a business card. You know, with maybe a QR code they can scan off, so they, you know, they've got to type your name in because a lot of people just can't be bothered with that. So as long as you know, just make it a lot easier for them to find you. Make sure you have your business information on your Twitter profile. You know, I always see these like sponsorship people say, "Oh, I would love to work with this person," but they've got no email to reach out to or whatever. So it's just, you know, making sure you're accessible and you're available is great as well.
Yeah. So one thing we like to talk a lot about at British Esports is diversity and inclusion, and streamer culture, I think, is a big part of that because, like, now more than ever, I think, especially over like lockdown, I think the streaming culture and people watching streams kind of grew and grew. So in your opinion then, why do you think it's important that people have these role models and we have more diversity and inclusion in the gaming and esports space?
Because then they can see themselves, they potentially see themselves, you know, in that position, I would imagine. So yeah, I think that's it. You know, always all for, you know, more inclusion for everybody, regardless of race, sex, or gender, or whatever. So yeah, I think it would be. I think it's a good thing that we do more of these things and have as many people as possible. But at the same time, I wouldn't say you just do it for the sake of doing it, because you don't want somebody who's not good at that role, you know, you put them into that position for no reason, as long as, you know, they're still qualified to do the job. I think,
yeah, exactly. It's not just about ticking a box. It's about doing it for the right reasons. Yeah,
they should have the quite skills and qualifications to do it as well, and then it just makes it more sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, quite a big question for the final part of this segment. Where would you see yourself in 5 years' time?
In 5 years' time? Well, one of my passions is just to be known as kind of the strategy guy. So I want to, like, I guess, grow my my channels like on YouTube and Twitch and even TikTok, things like that, and just keep growing and just constantly keep playing all these strategy games. I kind of want to, been making a lot of attempts to go to a lot of these gaming conventions and stuff. And last year I went to Gamescom for the first time, which was amazing, and there was a really good industry day, and I met a lot of big companies and like PlayOn, Team 17 and kind of big publishers and studios and stuff like that, which is really, really good. So yeah, just constantly growing and just being, ideally it would be cool to become almost, if you shoot for the sky, I guess, like a household name for strategy games would be kind of the dream thing. So people are like, that strategy games come out. Let's check out HelpingHans because he's probably covered it or something like that.
Yeah.
So, just to be able to keep doing what I'm doing without worrying about, not stressing about the money, basically, because a lot of the time it's when's the next sponsorship campaign, and as a content creator, I'm sure as you're aware, the sponsorship campaigns, fluctuate quite a lot. Some months you might not get any, and then others you might get like 3 or 4 campaigns come through. So, yeah, just have a steady stream of income, and not just for content creation as well, because it's like. I also did something with a university not too long ago. I was they brought me in as a lecturer on a web cam seminar kind of thing, like an online thing. And I just talked again about esports and about my experience, and that was cool. They really appreciated that, and it was not something I had done before in content creation. So more things like that would be cool to get other kind of job opportunities in working in like in education with universities would be cool. Just to keep growing my my portfolio, basically. Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Right, we're going to move on to this little game that we've got prepared for everyone who we've spoken to this weekend. So, how do you rate your skills in charades?
Charades? Oh, God. I haven't done...
That's not the default answer, it seems, yeah.
I haven't done charades in a long time, but okay.
So, what we've got here is a stack of different games. What we're going to do is we're going to show them to you one at a time, and in a minute, you've got to try and act it out basically for us to try and guess what game it is that you've been presented with.
Right.
So there's a large collection. Hopefully there'll be some you know, and if there's some you don't know, then we'll try and figure it out between us all. So like I said, you've got a minute on the clock to get as many as you can. You can mime as much as you want. You can say one word. It can't be any of the words in the actual game title, or it can't be a character either. But just to help, you can say any word about anything else that relates to it that hopefully should help us guess. And you can make like noises, I guess, as well. We've decided. So any like humming of like soundtracks or music relating to the game or something like that, just to help hopefully us get a few more than just 1 or 2. So we'll see.
Most people have got lip bullets.
4.5 is the current record to beat. So we'll see how we get on.
How many games are there in total?
How many?
I think I've got about 30 in there.
30.
Okay, so plenty of
I can just choose either one, whatever's easiest, or do I have to do them in order or anything like that?
So what have we said? We've said you get
skip.
one skip, just so you can't like skip through them all basically until you find like ones that you like. So
God.
Right.
we'll see how we get on.
You want me sitting down to do it, all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Right. You
Count us
ready?
in.
3, 2, 1, go.
Number 1. Okay, shooting. PUBG?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Number 2.
Skip.
Skip that. Next.
Sus.
Oh,
Among Us.
Among Us. Yes. Brilliant. Next. Mask. Destiny 2?
Call of-
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
That was
nice.
impressive.
Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six. Yes. Nice. Street Fighter?
Fighter.
Boom. Was that time?
No.
No, still going. What is that?
Oh my God.
Base Hunter.
Oh, I'm so
What
sorry.
was it?
Dota 2, of course.
Oh.
That's where it's come from.
was
So I
your
should
skip?
know that.
I
League of
don't play
Legends.
League of Legends.
That's fair.
I thought it'd be a difficult one to
That's
do.
fair. You're probably saving yourself a lot of
Well,
heartache and brain trauma not playing League of Legends, to be fair. Right.
we have a new top of the leaderboard.
5.
Five.
You are the current
Nice.
record holder of scuffed game charades.
The stuffed
A little fun
charades.
game. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Oh, brilliant. Right. And then just to finish us off then, to close it out, we've got a couple of quick-fire questions for you,
Yep,
if
sure.
you don't mind. So what are 3 most vital things to bring to a gaming or esports event like Insomnia?
Business cards, if you're a content creator, I think is important. Good attitude and money, so you can buy things. I guess.
Yeah. What's your most anticipated game release that you're looking forward to this year?
This year, that's a good question. I like Tempest Rising is a new kind of it's inspired by Command and Conquer.
Okay.
That looks by 3D Realms. That looks really good. I'm really excited for that to come out later on this year. It looks good.
If you could attend any esports event, is there any in particular that you'd like to go and see?
Yeah, I would love to see any kind of specific strategy game live events and esports and stuff. Though there was that $8 million Dota thing that happened a few years back, and that would probably been impressive to attend that just to see how big the biggest kind of tournament there was in the scene kind of thing in just gaming in general. That would have been cool to be at. But yeah, just those types of events. Yeah.
And if you could compete in any esports event, is there a particular one you'd like to be competing in?
Good question. To be honest, there isn't any like standout kind of tournament that I'm just like, or like organization that I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. It's primarily because my community hasn't got. It's all really mainly community funded and run. So I don't really not too familiar. But I guess ESL, I know that's well respected kind of like organization. So I guess an ESL tournament.
And what's a game that you didn't think you'd like, but actually really did enjoy
Hades.
when you played? Oh, okay, yeah.
I never would have touched something like Hades, but I absolutely loved it. It was I loved the gameplay, the mechanics, the dialogue as well. I was really blown away by it because it kept on getting new dialogue. Normally you play a game like that or any game, and the dialogue options run out after a few. After speaking to the NPC after a certain amount of time, but no, it just kept on going. I was like, wow, this is really good, and it wasn't just dialogue for the sake of dialogue. It helped build the lore and the story. And yeah, definitely try out Hades if you haven't. It's one of those. Get really good indie titles.
Yeah, it was on Game Pass for a little bit, and that's when I played it. I got really hooked, and then it came off Game Pass. I'm like, I need to buy it and pick it up again, yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
They can find me on, I mainly stream nearly every single day on Twitch, twitch.tv/HelpingHans, or Hans. Most people call me Hans. It's just easier, but it's the German name for Hans, so that's my name. Same kind of thing on Twitter, and also... yeah, I'm on TikTok as well, so if people want to check me out there, that's where I do it. And normally on TikTok, I put out the silly sketches and comedies and stuff like that, whereas the Twitch channel is more about the esports and more gaming-focused things.
Perfect. Well, check those out if you are interested. If you're also interested in the British esports side of content, we've got a whole slew of Insomnia content coming your way, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that. If you enjoy British esports content in general and you've not already subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel, follow us on all our social media, and don't forget to check out any other content that we have coming our way. We've got Student Champs Finals coming up pretty soon, so we're keeping out for that as well. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you everyone for watching. We'll take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey.